We want every side to come together to attempt to take down the 100 side.
Man, they gotta
We want
understand,
all the
right?
smoke.
We go off the content.
Three, two, one. Hey there, welcome back to the channel where we keep it real. No capping. I'm your host, bringing you nothing but straight fire and authenticity. Today, we're diving into 12 rooms that I got to promote. The 100 ENT showroom, hosted by Big Wack100. The Beehive room. Love and R&B room, hosted by the queen of the 100 side, R&B. No room for the weak. No mercy room. Spin the block room. 100 ENT Jailbreak Squad room. 100 ENT Solve room. Petty Betty and Toxic Tanya room. Dangerous Minds room, hosted by Beast. Good Burger, hosted by Pitbull. Sleepless in LA, and many more. If you want to get closer or you want to be a part of the show, go to Clubhouse, follow one of these rooms, or you look for a room titled with Wack100. These particular videos all made possible by the one and only Wack100. Get ready to vibe with me as we explore the hardest topics that need some real recognition in the streets. Let's jump right into it and show some love to this channel by hitting the like and or subscribe button. So, without further ado, hold it down. One mic on Wack.
Said just not the name.
All the block and all that old shit.
Yeah, he didn't come.
It had nothing to do with that shit. Long as, bro, I done been in them situations a million times with a few of my artists. Out of respect to me, it didn't happen. It was a sit down. It was a conversation.
So 50 didn't slap no nigga on the block and take his work?
None of that type of shit.
All right, for sure.
None of that type. All
You
that.
know they
That
gonna always
was
put dubs on
that
it.
was
It's
based.
basically about him
All
missing a
that
meeting.
shit was based on when that nigga didn't show up to a meeting at dead and shit. I call a meeting as my artist. These niggas is respecting my hand. They ain't at you because of me. I call the meeting. They show up. And only don't show up is my artist. They looking at me like, nigga, the nigga don't even respect you. This nigga's the problem. They already pumping you, see the nigga's the problem. But because it's my artist, I'm not allowing it to happen. The minute I say, you know what, y'all right, it ain't my problem no more. I wash my hands of it. It's open season. It's crazy because if you watch Get Rich or Die Trying and you know the tall actor nigga who they was kind of insinuating was 50's father is supposed to be Chaz Williams.
Bill Duke.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you, Wack.
You know what I'm saying? So, out of y'all, if you Google Black Hand, what's the last movie Chaz did? He had a movie that was running around. Everybody was in that movie.
Was it Black Gangster?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. It was one of them Donald Goins type movies. He did, but everybody
Yeah, he had a
was,
soundtrack for it. That's
yeah,
how I remember.
everybody was in the. But Chaz Williams, those of y'all that watched the American Gangster BET series, not the Frank Lucas movie, where they talked about Mitch and Moley and the Chamber brothers and all these people. Chaz Williams was the bank robber that was in the feds for robbing banks, and they put him in a college program where they was transporting him to the college for a certain amount of hours a day and picking him up, taking him back to the federal prison. This nigga was leaving the college, robbing banks, had a whole condo, cars, all kind of shit, and coming back and getting back on the bus every day. They wondered who is knocking these banks over because he had a certain way to knock them over on the getaway. That nigga used to have simulated sets on how to hit the banks and all this shit. And they figured out this nigga was robbing the banks while he was still doing federal time, literally. It's crazy.
That's wild.
He later on sued him for about $5 million because he never gave him the rights to do his story. His last artist was I know you know the nigga Graph was his last
Wow,
artist.
okay.
Yeah, I was his last artist. So shout out Nicky Scarf. Chaz and his team was always part of my New York strength. That's why I be laughing. A lot of these niggas be talking that shit they be talking. Graph and all the rest of them, they still there. They check in. I mean, not Grab, but Nicky Scarf and Chaz team and soldiers, they still call me. That's why these niggas be talking. I be laughing at them like, nigga, you niggas don't even want me to get a war. But I have a war going on in your backyard you ain't never even seen before. You know, these politics run deep. A lot of Mike Tyson's, his big after parties back when he was big in Vegas and all that shit was Chaz. It was him.
Chaz used to manage Foxy back in the day too, right?
Man, it's Foxy Brown too, yeah. Yeah. I believe Foxy was locked up at one time. He had her in. Yeah.
Wack, let me ask you this. Just, I might have been wrong, but I just want to make sure. If we had a versus battle, right? Death Row versus Cash Money, Young Money, right? We couldn't use if it's that.
You gonna run out of gas. You ain't got
Yeah,
enough gas.
but look at this though. With Death Row, you can't use any Snoop past the Dogfather. Wouldn't that be
Yeah,
correct?
that's over with. Yeah, everything after
Yeah,
that is over because it ain't Death Row.
right. And then as far as Cash Money, Young Money, would it be unfair to you? Like I was trying to argue and say they're in the same house.
It is.
Or
It's the same shit. It's all the same because you got to remember, Young Money was birthed so Wayne could own a company, but it was still distributed and funded by Cash Money.
right,
It's no different than if Suge could have got Death Row East going.
right.
It was still distributed. Young Money, when Young Money, it goes Universal Republic, Cash Money. Then it went Universal Republic, Cash Money, Young Money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
So
kind of like aftermath. It's kind of like the whole Interscope after like
same
aftermath
shit.
Shady Records G Unit. They're all
Same.
under
They,
that
they
same
was all under, but for a certain amount of time. Now, Young Money, as is OVO, has been standing alone probably for the Wayne's last maybe two albums, or one or two. Probably his last two. I gotta check. But they it's direct. So the cutoff is now it's just Young Money straight
right.
Republic. It's OVO straight Republic. Burt Cash Money still eats on the Republic side. You get what
Now, if
I'm
you
saying?
add the OVO, now if you add OVO, that would be a stretch.
No,
No,
well, if you add OVO after they branched off and went independent, so he went direct, but he was screaming OVO when he was Young Money.
right.
He started branding it as Young Money. You know what I'm saying? So he was screaming OVO. That's what he was representing. It was merch there. But when you heard him, his first time standing alone is when he did that deal for like 400 million. At that point in time, it was OVO straight Republic.
Okay.
Now, if you notice, everything streamlines in Republic. Even when it's, okay, Cash Money, Young Money, Cash Money, Young Money, OVO. All right, Young Money is going straight direct to Republic. OVO is going straight direct to Republic. You know why that is? Because as the contract is written, Cash Money still eats as long as it's going directly to Republic on the Republic side.
Okay. And then the distributor of all of them is Universal Music Group,
Universal,
right?
UMG. Yep. Yep. UMG. Their mother company is just Republic, as if Interscope was Death Row's mother company and Aftermath's mother company. And you got a dude like Top Dog, he playing different. A nigga had Kendrick and Interscope, and SZA had like Capitol or Sony or something. He in two different buildings.
And then RZA kind of did that too with the Wu-Tang, right? Like how he had all of them signed, but I don't know if they were signed to him though, because he had all of them.
RZA had all of them signed. I'm just saying he was in Top Dog in two different buildings. Like Suge had Death Row all in one
Oh, I
building.
got you. I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm
It was
saying?
okay. Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
had them all in one building.
Yeah. RZA just got them deals in other labels. Top Dog was actually that
Yeah,
person in those buildings that he got them in.
yeah,
I got you. Dang, who else have done that?
yeah. I don't know. That nigga came in there and said, "Nigga slapped a nigga on the block." You know, man, boy.
Hey, my disclaimer, I said I don't know if this shit
Only
true or
time some
not.
slapping on the block went on is when that shit went on with Jimmy Henchman's son.
Okay.
And old boy slapped Jimmy Henchman's son, and then they lied and put it out there like the other niggas slapped Jimmy Henchman's son. And so they shot the one nigga grandmama house up and mama house up. The nigga that they said did the slapping when really the nigga who grandmama house got shot up was the slapper.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Then later on, the niggas that did the murders get caught up on some other shit, had nothing to do with that, and used that to get as a get out of jail free card. Jimmy Hinchman paid us to. That's why you gotta watch all this shit, bro. Shit different. Can't get emotional. Yo, look, all day let's keep. This ain't nothing Lady Killer did. It's something I did. She lost her brother, so I had Dreads create a GoFundMe up top. I don't know if they need it or not. I ain't really talked to her, been giving her space, but we all know how that shit go. Lady Killer done been with us a long time, so anybody got the heart or the mind and want to donate, hit the link up top. Let's see what we can come up with her overall. So we'll work this for the next couple days. I might get cussed out about it, but she be alright. What these niggas be his connect was the CIA. Oh, Freeway Rick, he mad. Where'd you get that paperwork from? That's Vlad's guy too. He might get irritated with me, huh?
He hit you up about it.
I sent it to him.
All they gotta do is follow the dog number.
Nigga, this shit right here. This shit is right here, this nigga. See, you can't, I don't know. See, here goes the thing. The police is the police. The LAPD is the LAPD. I get that. But Blandon is no different than El Chapo. He's your connect. He ain't the police. You get what I'm saying? So if you want to say, well, Blandon was getting his dope from the CIA, listen, you told on the police, the LAPD. We see that. I don't give a fuck about that. Blandon is your connect. I'm reading it, nigga. You called him in Nicaragua. He told you he needed you to oversee some deals. You didn't want to do it. You did it anyway up in Ohio. Another plug up in New York. You flew down there to see the nigga in Miami. So what the are you talking? This is after you done got out the first time. This is your connect. And you told on him.
And that's how he got his second case overturned.
There you have it.
And that's how he got his second case overturned. Plus that they used
Mm-hmm.
that entrapment because he called him so many times. But that's what they were
But
saying.
no,
That's
here go the thing, and that can't be entrapment on Blandon's side because he ain't law enforcement.
well, that's what he was telling the streets. That's what he was telling the streets, that he got it overturned. He got the downward departure because they called it entrapment.
No, he got the downward departure because he turned into LAPD. It spells that out.
Well, no. What I'm saying, this what he been telling the streets. He got
Okay,
it.
well,
He
look,
got it
nigga,
put downward entrapment. I mean, for entrapment. But you reading that paperwork yesterday, I see why he got it.
yo, listen, look, G, I'm finna send it to you, nigga. This shit bad right here. Okay. February 5th, 1992, Assistant U.S. Attorney Emmerich advised Cincinnati Assistant U.S. Attorney Hunt by letter of the nature and extent of the cooperation of Ricky Ross. Emmerich stated that Ross had fully complied with the plea agreement and that his cooperation was more than satisfactory. It was complete, candid, and forthright. Emmerich stated Ross' trial testimony was quite long. He was on the stand for 3 to 4 days. He was cross-examined in excruciating details about all imaginable subjects, including who his cocaine sources were, who was part of his narcotics organization. This ain't the police, bro. And what properties he purchased with narcotics proceeds and may still retain. Ross answered those questions without hesitation and, in my opinion, did so honestly and candidly. On February 2nd, 1992, Assistant U.S. Attorney Hunt filed a motion for downward departure on Ross's sentences in Cincinnati, attaching a letter of Assistant U.S. Attorney Emmerich. On March 25th, 1992, the court reduced Ross' sentence to 51 months to be followed by 3 years supervised release, right? Ross told to OIG that working in Ohio was very different from Los Angeles because although Blandon was still supplying cocaine at low prices, retail prices were much higher. Ross therefore made a huge profit on every sale. After Blandon moved to Miami, Ross dealt primarily with Blandon's partner in Los Angeles, Jose, but Ross said he would involve Blandon in negotiations from time to time, and Ross went to Miami a few times to get drugs from Blandon. According to Ross, Blandon also introduced Ross to a supplier in New York that met with Ross and the supplier there on Ross' first trip to New York to pick up drugs. Ross stated that on this occasion, he picked up the drugs in New York and either gave the money to the supplier in New York or sent the money to Blandon in Miami. Ross also stated that Blandon continued to supply Ross friends in Los Angeles. Hey, bro, that's a nigga. That ain't the police.
Oh, I understand because the one-liners. Oh, they let me off for entrapment. I know for a fact that they want every detail, nigga. There ain't no one-liners when it comes to the feds.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I
that
already knew
nigga told about other people that worked in his organization. Okay, so that means G Wayne, and we was part of this shit. He told on us too.
Oh yeah, I know.
I don't know why the nigga came in, bro. I tried to be cool with the nigga. Like, look, bro, I told him, I ain't looked into you, bro. Well, I mean, shit. If
Yeah.
you want me to look into you,
See, I
I
never really looked into them. I just seen a couple interviews, and then I walk in yards, so it's always been out there. I just ain't never been that interested into it. You know what I'm saying? To look into it, but it's always been out there.
Yeah, I
You know.
told him, nigga. I said, look, bro, I've always defended the police shit. I ain't really tripped that. But you want me to look into you, nigga? Shit, I
And,
said
and
that
it's
shit.
and it's always been the second case that's always been suspect.
Yeah, we don't look. Listen. The LAPD shit that spells out what he did with them. That's cool, nigga. This Ohio shit, New York shit, and you telling them everybody that worked up under you? Nah, nigga. Sorry, don't work like that.
He need to get back on that FaceTime and clear that up.
Yes, a fact.
Mr. Vlad.
Whack, what is a downward departure? What does that mean?
That's when, okay, you got mandatory minimums, right? When it comes to crack laws and things like that, that's like you got a mandatory minimum. They got guidelines, right? So they put you in the system. You got guidelines. You get caught with a minimum amount. Say my minimum amount was 120 months, 10 years, right? The only way I can get up under that 120 months is if I give the government information, and then I can get a downward departure to mean to get me up under that 120 months. There is also a way, if I've never been in trouble again, I mean not even a parking ticket, that will get me eligible for a downward departure. Those are only two ways to get up under that mandatory minimum, and the prosecutor won't fight it. But usually, most of the time, you have to give the prosecutor some information for them to put in and get you a downward departure. That makes sense?
Yeah, I get it.
That's how we be knowing when dudes be telling on them, you know what I'm saying? Telling the feds when a dude come in just be talking about his case. Because we all know the guidelines. I ain't been in there in a while, so you kind of forget. But, you know, when you go in there and you be knowing your case, and the nigga be like, yeah, nigga, I got caught with 5 keys of hard and 200 pounds of weed. And you be like, how much months you get? I got 60 months. But you know in your head, that shit start at 240. Nigga, how'd you do that? That become the question, nigga. How'd you do that? And then you already know a nigga don't told on somebody. You just kind of get away from it. That became the question with that nigga T.I. Nigga got 11 felonies. He get caught with fullies and all this shit, and you get a year and a day. Damn near impossible in the feds because they got mandatory minimums. How did you do that? That'd be the question. How did you get up under that?
Yeah, that's real. Then they want to look at you like you crazy and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, love. This shit finna go crazy. This shit finna go crazy.